Okay, I hope you guys are doing great. Welcome to Shoolini Online. And this is our first lecture. And in our first lecture, we'll be talking about few things. Second, I'll be making it more practical than of just reading and teaching you. Because at the end of the day, we want to learn through giving answers as well. First is that, and I'll not be able to write or and not be able to read everyone's comment because again this could, I mean, all of you writing at the same time, I could miss out. But whosoever I read the whosoever's comment I read, please don't feel that I'm ignoring anyone, right? We are not going to have any hand notes. You don't have to do any hand notes. You have to submit your assignments. Please, about those assignments, about exams, about all these things, we are not going to discuss it here. If you want to go ahead with your external books, you are very much welcome. But your exam will come from the books that have been shared with you, the PDF that has been shared with you on your LMS. This is English class. So what we are going to do is I'm definitely going to speak in English and I'm speaking very normal English. I hope everybody understands it. Is there any problem that you are finding while understanding my language right now? Are you getting any problem understanding me? Is that difficult? I understand everybody doesn't understand English, everybody understands the same language, but we are here to learn. And I'm not looking down upon anyone. So, my point here is until or unless you make an effort to learn something, you're not going to learn it. If you're going to only go in the classroom just to, you know, learn the way you always wanted, you will never learn it. Let's move ahead with something. Let's give ourselves a little chance to do something जिससे कि आपको भी easy हो जाए समझना. It's not always possible because in your later in life, this language will be very much part of you. Because of this language, you might be missing many chances, missing courses, right? So that's the problem. Yes, if you find difficulty understanding any topic, I will explain it in Hindi, but I'm speaking very normal English. I hope you understand that. And it would be very difficult for me also to switch the language. English बोलना it's not easy, right? Sometimes आप कुछ नहीं समझ पाएंगे, sometimes मैं कुछ नहीं समझ पाऊंगी, right? So मैं हिंदी में पढ़ाने के लिए मना नहीं कर रही हूँ, but the problem is आपको मैं अभी हिंदी में पढ़ाऊंगी, आप पूरे के पूरे 6 सेमेस्टर यही एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे सभी टीचर से, and then you will not be able to learn anything. Let's try something else. Let's do something else. Let's give ourselves a little task to understand and to learn something new, right? We are here to learn. um, it's just a language. ना हिंदी बड़ी है ना इंग्लिश बड़ी है, right? It's just a language, a medium. मैं बस नॉर्मल इंग्लिश में आपको पढ़ाऊंगी. However, नॉर्मल इंग्लिश से थोड़ा सा एडवांस इंग्लिश में कैसे बढ़ना है, that's one thing. Because you have to understand, functioning English is something that it is language. So if I have to come here and then I have to explain it in Hindi, that would be not sufficing the purpose. ठीक है, आपको कुछ नहीं समझ आएगा, I am there, I am going to explain it in Hindi, but you have to put, or you have to come out of your comfort zone, which you have been keeping it like this. Let's not do that, right? आपको नहीं समझ आता है, I'm here to make you understand. Let's start. So what we are going to complete today. One, that we are going to talk about the syllabus. हम syllabus में क्या करेंगे, क्या क्या चीजें हैं हमारी syllabus में. Second, there are going to be few questions or few answers of few questions that might help you while speaking anything. For example, how to introduce yourself whenever you've been asked in official language. ठीक है तो दो चीजें कंप्लीट करेंगे इट इज गोइंग टू वेस्ट माय टाइम आल्सो गाइस योर टाइम इज वेल if I keep on mixing and translating one another thing. Let's go ahead with English, and I hope that you understand this language. Very simple language I'm going to use. It is an English class, guys, or you have to write it in English in every exams. You have to sit for the interviews with the same language, that is English. So you have to gear up yourself. I'm not going to comfort you here. You have to listen to me very carefully. I'm not going to give you the comfort that you are expecting from me. Not at all. Not at all from my end, because you have to learn it. You have to do a little bit um, effort to learn it. Let's start. So, what the very first question is, what is functional English? What does functional English mean? The definition. What would be the definition? Right? So, functional in its word also, we are getting to know that functional means functioning something. So, language or English language which is functioning every day. Please do not send any links, WhatsApp groups. Please don't do it here in the classroom. Try to understand this. This is a classroom, not chat box. Okay, so functioning language. Language that we on a daily basis speak, we that we communicate every day. For example, आप घर पे बैठे हो, then you are having a conversation with your parents. आप market जा रहे हो, then you are having a conversation with a shopkeeper. Then you are going to a restaurant. वहां पर आपको कैसे order करना है? Things that you do on a daily basis. That is called functional English. That's how it is different from the other words. Now, as I've already told you, it is a little bit informal. However, I wanted you to also understand that grammar plays an important role to make yourself right, or make your English correct, grammar correct. Most of the people do not speak right grammar, do not speak right English. So for that matter, we are going to do a few things in grammar. Let's talk about the syllabus. What is going to be in our syllabus? It is divided into 5 sections, 5 to 6 sections. Only 5 will be, on the working part. First one is grammar. Grammar will include tenses, sentence structure, parts of speech, model, vocabulary, and expressions. Vocabulary, I'm going to use a little extra. थोड़ी सी difficult vocabulary पढ़ेंगे. क्यों? क्योंकि normal word सभी को पता है. Say, tell, ये चीजें हमें पता है already. हमने ये words पढ़ रखे हैं, हमें इनके meaning पता है, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to add few more words for enhancing your communication in every lecture. So there is going to be a vocabulary section in every lecture. Also, I'm going to come up with a very good exercise for you in next class. So be ready for that as well. Now, are you not able to see my PPT? Are you guys not able? We can see. So who is not able to see? I think there's some problem with you. Please don't create such ruckus about things that are not there. Right? Let's continue. We have only 55 minutes, guys. If you keep on bombarding this chat section with unnecessary chats, it would not help me. It will only distract me. So if you want me to see your messages and see what you're saying in the middle of the chapter, please don't write something which is not necessary. Okay, let's move ahead. So we are going to do parts of speech, models, vocabulary, and expressions. I'll be also talking about what these are in detail in next lecture. Second one is your writing part. It will be a little uh, writing part where we'll be talking about essay writing and academic writing. Again, there are different parts in academic writings as well. Email writing, which is again very important in report writing as well. Third is your story, which means your reading part. There are going to be 5 stories that we are going to read. Again, those stories have been included in your syllabus so that at home you read those SLMs, read those stories out loudly to make your conversation or to make your English language pretty cool, right? Because here you are not given a chance to speak, so there you'll be given a chance to speak these words, right? You'll be having these words, different vocabulary words, phrasal verbs in those chapters which you'll be able to learn. And then you have few audios in number 4, listening. I think that is only just the purpose of these listening part is so that you also understand communication, right? Then we have in the 5th idioms. Idioms everybody knows. In Hindi it is called muhavre. Muhavre are phrases which has which doesn't talk about, it's basically figurative meaning, जो कि literal meaning नहीं होता, exact meaning नहीं हम बोलते हैं जिसे, but उसको तोड़ मरोड़ कर metaphorically here and there की चीजों को जोड़कर हम एक meaning निकालते हैं, उसको हम बोलते हैं idioms, मुहावरे in English, right? So then we have expressions, and then we have some practical practice questions for interviews as well, because at the end of the day, all of you are doing a specific degree, a professional degree, and you also want to get placed and also want some promotion in your job profile. So for that matter, you definitely need how to answer those questions, right? So we'll be dealing with those questions as well. So that's the part, that's the syllabus. Sorry, that's the syllabus that we are going to complete in this whole semester. I hope that is clear. If you have any confusion, you can ask me questions related to syllabus only. Stop doing the chatting. I'm not gonna. I'll block you guys. Whosoever is doing chatting without any serious conversation or without any serious question. Now, books. Ritik, we don't actually have books, but you have been provided a book in a PDF format on your LMS, right? You don't have to buy any book. You have to, whatever I'm going to teach you here, you will be provided with the PPT and with the PDF there. So you have to study it from there. There are not going to be notes. You are going to have PPTs and your PDFs, and also recording lectures you have to see. You don't have to make notes. You just have to listen and participate whenever I ask question. Now, the next question that I wanted you to discuss with, I mean, I wanted to discuss in the classroom is how to introduce yourself. And this is not just a normal introduction that you're having with your friends or the mutual friends you meet usually. That's very informal. Where there you only say hi, how are you, right? वहां पर आप ऐसे नहीं बोलते हो कि आप पूरा इंट्रोडक्शन दो अपनी प्रीवियस लाइफ के बारे में, right? So that is very informal. हम अपना नाम बताते हैं और बोलते हैं nice to meet you, that's it. But introduction, I'm here talking about that introduction which you usually have to give when you're giving an interview. Professional setting में आप कैसे अपने आप को introduce करोगे? What are those steps that you have to do? Will there be any speaking sessions? Abhishek, I am afraid because you are 300 200 something students, 300 students, so it is not feasible for me also to allow you to switch on your mics because everybody will start speaking. However, I'm trying that we can come up with something more practical, and of course I'm trying that this will be from the next session, and I'll definitely introduce that particular part to you as well, right? Hopefully that is done. स्क्रीन पे ही क्लास होती है, व्हाइट बोर्ड की मुझे जरूरत नहीं है. इट्स नॉट अ मैथमेटिक क्लास, सो आई एम जस्ट गोना एक्सप्लेन एवरीथिंग दैट इज गिवन हियर इन द पीपीटी. Right? So now the next question that I want you to ask and I want you to answer in specific, if somebody has given the interview before, if not, what would you speak when this question is being asked from you? How to introduce yourself? What are, or for example, if I am as an interview sitting there, I would say introduce yourself briefly. How would you answer? You guys can turn off the chats. Could turn off chat karo. Don't read the chat. Write your answer. Leave it. नेम, सिटी, एजुकेशन, फैमिली। लाइक गाइस, एक मैं आपको चीज बोलना चाहूंगी, आप सभी बहुत प्रोबेबली अबव 20 और अबव 18 ही हैं, एंड यू आर क्वाइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ कि क्या लिखना है और क्या नहीं लिखना है। फालतू की चीजों को मत लिखिए, देयर इज नो पॉइंट। अपना भी टाइम वेस्ट मत कीजिए, किसी और का भी टाइम वेस्ट मत कीजिए। बेसिक एटिकेट्स हैं, प्लीज try to understand this. This is my request. Civic sense है ये, आपको आपको आना चाहिए ये। रिकॉर्डिंग लेक्चर आप अपने मेंटोर से पूछिए। एवरीथिंग दैट यू नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड फिगर आउट ऑन योर एलएमएस, प्लीज कॉन्टैक्ट योर मेंटोर्स। नेम, एजुकेशन, सिटी, अटेंडेंस आपकी खुद लग जाती है whenever you enter in the classroom. My name, I have done my education, okay. My name, I love to do practical, okay. Your name, place, okay, city, age, qualification, experience, hobbies, education again. Also, I just wanted to aware you, there could be chances when my electricity goes off, right? And my network sometimes will go off. So you have to be patient enough that I come back and then take the class. Do not bombard it with messages, right? Introduction in interviews. Okay, I've got specific answers. Now, if I have to talk about what you're supposed to answer in how to introduce yourself, is first thing, of course, greetings are very much part of it. Then you have your name, then where you are from. For example, if I say, I am Akshita. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to speak about myself. My name is Akshita Thakur and I hail from Shimla, Himachal Pradesh. I have completed this education and I'm doing right now this for, or I have been doing this job for past this years, and my hobbies are these things, and my goal in life is to become this. So these are 4 to 5 steps that you're supposed to include in your introduction. It is must to include your hobbies and goal, and also the previous experiences that you have done, the work that you have done, be it internship, be it any kind of work, even if you are as a fresher, right? So that's the right way of doing it. You have to practice it also. No files, guys. This is not school. This is a university, graduating university. You don't have to make notes. We are going to provide you notes. We are going to give you these PPTs. We are going to give you the books. You have to just read and participate in the class. सब कुछ आपको साइट पे मिलेगा. Everything is there. Now, I'm just going to add few 3 or 3 to 4 words every day in your class, and you have to remember those words and you have to use it in your classroom. First word is exasperated. Anybody knows the meaning of this word, exasperated? Anybody has any idea what does this mean? Again, chat GPT use mat kariye, Google mat use kariye. There's no point of doing it. If you know it, please answer. If you don't, that's totally fine. क्योंकि सभी इंसान को सब कुछ नहीं पता होगा at the end of the day. But what it is, or what more important is, that we understand. So how we are going to pronounce it? कैसे हम इस word को बोले? सबसे पहले तो exasperation, exasperating, right? अब exasperating को हिंदी में कैसे बोलूं? ऐसे ही बोलते हैं. हिंदी में इसका मीनिंग है, इसका मीनिंग क्या है? बहुत सारे लोगों ने आंसर कर दिया है. दैट्स वेरी नाइस. इसका मीनिंग है समथिंग दैट इज मेकिंग अ सिचुएशन वर्स, डिफिकल्ट, राइट? समथिंग विच इज मेकिंग अ सिचुएशन वर्स. सिचुएशन वर्स किसी भी चीज को ज्यादा खराब कर देना. इन हिंदी आई हैव टू, इफ आई हैव टू एक्सप्लेन इट, जब भी हम किसी भी चीज को ज्यादा खराब कर देते हैं उसको हम कहते हैं एग्जैस्परेटिंग, राइट? सो जैसे कि हमने एक सेंटेंस भी यहाँ यूज किया है, द राइजिंग कॉस्ट एग्जैस्परेटेड द फाइनेंशियल स्ट्रेस इन फैमिलीज, राइट? सो इट मेड द थिंग्स वर्स. Sorry. Now next word is conundrum. Anybody has any example? Now I have added these difficult words. These are just exercising words which I wanted to include in the chapters, because One, it is important for you to also move ahead from simple words. So, what does conundrum mean? कनंड्रम का मीनिंग क्या है आप बताइए। मैं कुछ ऐसा अभिषेक डिफिकल्ट चीज नहीं समझा रही हूँ, आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग फ्यू मोर क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम यू। कुछ भी ऐसा डिफिकल्ट मैं नहीं बता रही हूँ, है ना? कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं बोलूंगी जिसकी वजह से आपको बहुत डिफिकल्टी हुई। प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड। इफ यू डोंट लिसन टू मी राइट नाउ, you will never able to finish this fear of not speaking English. Start hearing it, start understanding it, start from the beginning. I don't know, but you have to start, right? What is it? Confusing, making problem, difficulty, hard to understand, dilemma, confusion. So ये बहुत सारे answers हमें मिले हैं। Confusing है, problematic है, puzzle है, डिफिकल्ट प्रॉब्लम है, राइट? सो जब हमें डिफिकल्ट प्रॉब्लम कहीं यूज करना है, बार बार हम उसी डिफिकल्ट प्रॉब्लम, डिफिकल्ट वर्ड बार बार यूज कर रहे हैं, तो इंस्टेड ऑफ मेकिंग और राइटिंग दिस वर्ड और स्पीकिंग दिस वर्ड, वी कैन चेंजेस टू conundrum, राइट? जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ हमने लिखा है अ कंफ्यूजिंग, सॉरी, a confusing problem or a question, and it's a noun. For example, the conundrum of balancing work and personal life is is a common challenge nowadays. Now there's another thing which is synonyms. Synonyms क्या होते हैं? Similar kind of words. They might differ in meaning. There could be slightest change of context, change of meaning. Of course, why would somebody create two words for one thing? ठीक है, तो दो, ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हमने 20 वर्ड्स बना दिए सिनोनिम जस्ट क्योंकि हमें एक ही सिचुएशन एक्सप्लेन करनी है। ठीक है, हमें वो सिचुएशन एक्सप्लेन करनी है, इसीलिए हमारे पास डिफरेंट डिफरेंट वर्ड्स है। जैसे कि सी और वॉच में डिफरेंस है, होता तो देखना ही है, बट सी और वॉच में क्या डिफरेंस है, ये भी हमें पता होना बहुत जरूरी है। सो वैसे ही जैसे सी का सिनोनिम वॉच है और वॉच का सिनोनिम सी है, देयर आर अदर वर्ड्स दैट हैज डिफरेंट सिनोनिम्स। एंड व्हाई वी वांट synonyms to be part of it। पर्यायवाची शब्द आई थिंक इनको हिंदी में हम बोलते हैं, synonyms को हम पर्यायवाची शब्द बोलते हैं। सो गाइस, स्टॉप डूइंग दिस। इट्स नॉट अ चैट बॉक्स। कल से मैं आपका चैट बॉक्स बंद कर रही हूँ। देर आर नॉट गोइंग टू बी एनी क्वेश्चंस, देर इज गोइंग टू बी जीरो इंटरेक्शन। यू जस्ट हैव टू लिसन टू मी फॉर 55 minutes straight। दिस इज problematic। दिस इज द वे यू बिहेव इन द क्लासरूम। जब आप जाते हो क्लासरूम में, अभी तक आप ऐसे बिहेव कर रहे थे। I think my point here not only is to teach you English. My point is here to behave, make you behave in the classroom also. Civic sense भी आपको मुझे सिखाना पड़ेगा। Okay. So, what is the important thing why we are reading or why we are studying synonyms is one reason because repetition helps, or repetition comes along with the words that we speak or the sentences we speak, specifically when we are talking about one thing again and again on a repetition. So to remove that repetition, we use synonyms. For example, if I say, I mm, uh, my career is very important for me, my parents are very important for me, and my brother are very important for me, my own home is very important for me. So यहाँ मैं इम्पोर्टेंट बहुत ज्यादा यूज कर रही हूँ, एंड मैं बोलना तो चाहती हूँ कि दैट it is different than important, but it also holds a very essential part in my heart. But how I can say it differently so that the person who's listening to me doesn't get bored. So what I'm going to say is, when I'm going to explain my feelings to somebody through words, I would say really love my family members, and also my brother is very much part or very much or very important for me in terms of giving me support. And also, when I talk about my home, it is also crucial part of my life. So, crucial, important, essential, vital, paramount. These are the synonyms of the word called important. However, they definitely, carry different meanings, but we can interchangeably use whenever there is what we call there is repetition happening again and again. So we have some synonyms of exasperated and conundrum given there: worse, making something worse; aggravate, and conundrum ka hai difficulty and dilemma. Or sometimes if you have to convert into phrases, then we have Sophie's choice as well. Exaggeration is a different word. Exaggeration is to stretch something, be it your anything. चलिए, नाउ नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज meticulous. जो हमारे पास नया वर्ड है उसका नाम है meticulous. meticulous किसको बोलते हैं? meticulous बोलते हैं, ये एक एडजेक्टिव है. एडजेक्टिव होता है जब भी हम किसी की विशेषता बताते हैं. विशेषण, आई गेस इन हिंदी वी कॉल इट विशेषण. आप जो भी हिंदी वाले लोग हैं ना, आपको हिंदी तक नहीं आएगी अच्छे से अगर इफ आई टॉक अबाउट ग्रामर, राइट? सो लेट्स Okay. Meticulous is something being detailed or try to be perfect in something. Very careful and attentive, as most of you have also answered. Like very careful in paying close attention to details. Very nice. So, yes. Okay. So the example which we have taken here is the editor was meticulous in checking every line of the report. The meticulous student always submits neat and well organized work. So two important things that I really want you to be include in your life is that you have to understand, if you want to expand your vocabulary, adjectives and adverbs are two things that are going to help you a lot. There might be students, there might be people who think that the language is very minimal, and they are not able to move ahead from simple words, and they want to learn more words and vocabulary. So how to do that? And also I have heard this common problem of students that they do not, or most of the time they forget words. For them this is something which is very important, because जब हम किसी की विशेषता बताते हैं, क्योंकि whenever we are having a conversation we are talking about something, right? For example, I'm talking about the qualities of my mother. For example, I'm talking about dislikings about my mother or about anybody. Or for example, if I like someone, I don't like someone's habit, specific habit, so I'm going to call him or her something. So there is the I am talking about the qualities of those people, right? There's always a conversation about it, probably place, probably count, so that their adjectives are going to help you. Adverbs कहाँ help करेगी? जब आप specifically कुछ चीज को बता रहे हो. For example, the poetry has been beautifully written. So beautifully written बता रहा है कि वो पोएट्री कितनी अच्छे से लिखी गई है. ठीक है? तो वो काइंड ऑफ वर्ब होता है आपका, उसको काइंड ऑफ एड इन करता है जब आप थोड़ा और स्पेसिफाई करते हो चीजों को. That is called adverb. So that's why I would always appreciate those people who could go more beyond their normal communication. So always learn adjectives and adverbs more than of any other word that you would want to. That's the first try that you can make. Now, ephemeral. Ephemeral is again an adjective, and I hope that you have an idea what does this word mean. Next class के लिए I'm going to come up with the different activities as well, so that you can also participate pretty well. Temporary. Shabnam is saying a temporary. Slow कर लेते हैं विनोद. No worries. We can go slow. A very short time. Brief. Ephemeral is something which lives for a short period of time. मतलब जो कि थोड़े टाइम के लिए हमारे साथ रहती हैं चीजें, उसको हम ephemeral कहते हैं. ठीक है? And we have words for it. आपकी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स का आंसर मैं एंड में करूंगी. लेट्स कंटिन्यू with the class right now. Lasting for a very short period of time, or fleeting, which is very fast, which is transitory, which is temporary, which can move in seconds, in few minutes than of expectations. Now, for example, fashion trends are often ephemeral, which stays for a little time. क्योंकि जब आप फैशन का भी देखोगे, फॉर एग्जाम्पल जारा देख रहे हो, H&M देख रहे हो, ये ऐसे फैशन ब्रांड्स हैं जो कि अपने फैशन को कुछ ही टाइम तक रखते हैं, and then they change it, then they come up with a new fashion. So that's why the sentence here says fashion trends are often ephemeral. Then comes their happiness after winning the game was intense but ephemeral. So इट वॉज लाइक समटाइम्स ऑल्सो आपने देखा होगा कि आप एक किसी चीज के लिए बहुत मेहनत करते हैं, लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू पुट इन अ लॉट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क, एंड इन दैट हार्ड वर्क ऑल्सो आप बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत करते हैं, एंड देन यू थिंक दैट देर इज गोइंग टू बी टाइम व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू लर्न समथिंग, राइट? सो in that process you somehow you know get to know that feeling that stays only for small time. That happiness and that feeling of happiness stays only for some time. That is the place where we can use ephemeral, right? Now let's move on to the next word. Pernicious. Pernicious is again an adjective which talks about, which means, yes, fatal, dangerous. Okay. Shabnam, Shabnam is the one who is answering the very first. Like she's on the board. I'm gonna answer every word. Unnoticed, harmful, damaging, harmful, hurtful, krish, khushal. Great. We can use impending. Hmm. It's okay. Whosoever wants to be cool, they are just fooling themselves. Whosoever is taking it from somewhere, it's okay. Right. Now, now let's understand the meaning. Harmful in a subtle, often unnoticed way, which means sometimes an activity that is harming you, but आप उसको notice नहीं करते हो. जैसे कि जो fast food होता है, you keep on eating it, but it is something which is you know making you kind of uh, weak from inside, and you don't really know it, so that is very harmful, and that's called pernicious. For example, social media can have a pernicious effect on self esteem. So self esteem kya hota hai? Self esteem kya hota hai? Yes, what does self esteem mean? कॉन्फिडेंस, सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट, whatever you want to call, right? So social media भी एक ऐसी जगह है जो कि हमारे लिए बहुत sometimes pernicious है. Why? Because it is also, you're not realizing it, but it is somehow problematic, right? So that's that. Now let's move on to the next one, which I wanted to discuss. One is daily routine. How to write your daily routine, or how to speak about the daily routine. क्योंकि what happens जब भी आप interview में बैठते हैं, this is also yet another question that can be asked from an interviewee, that talk about your daily routine, what you usually do. Now why do they ask this question more often? So that they understand कि आप क्या करते हो, आप एज अ पर्सन क्या हो, हाउ क्रिएटिव यू आर, व्हाट इज योर डेली रूटीन. उस डेली रूटीन में आप एज अ पर्सन कैसे झलकते हो, वो इसीलिए वो क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं. सो डेली रूटीन में फर्स्ट व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज यू हैव टू टॉक अबाउट डेली रूटीन इन प्रेजेंट सिंपल टेंस. Present simple means that you have to talk about your habits, liking and dislikings, where you're going to use the first form of the verb with the third, जो कि हम later on करेंगे tenses part में भी. बट जिस हिसाब से आप लोग चल रहे हो, उस हिसाब से तो इट सीम्स टू बी वेरी इट काइंड ऑफ एन इम्पॉसिबल टास्क for you to learn anything if you keep on just focusing on the language part, because आपको सीखना तो पड़ेगा ही, अभी नहीं तो कभी नहीं. सो डेली रूटीन को कैसे एक्सप्लेन करें? जैसे कि मैं एक आपको एग्जांपल देती हूँ. I wake up at 5 o'clock. I brush my teeth. I take bath. I go to washroom. I dress up well. I take my breakfast, or I have my breakfast. Then I go to my office, do my work, and then I go to lunch. And after completing my lunch, I come back. I do my work, and I go home. I eat dinner and sleep. So ये तो हो गया आपका डेली रूटीन. Now can anybody tell me what is the problem with this daily routine? क्या एक ऐसा issue है which is very recurring and very problematic when I'm saying these lines? It's a first semester class, guys. Punctuation है. Uh, boring है, repetiting है. Consistency, it's not well arranged, sounds rough. Flow नहीं है. Boring looking, boring sounding also. Now, इसमें हम अपनी डेली रूटीन को कैसे इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं? One thing that you have to talk about is, first, now let's talk about the difference from the previous one and this one. I wake up at 5 o'clock and then I go to washroom and brush my teeth and take bath. After coming back from washroom, I go to kitchen and cook my food and then have my breakfast while watching some series. After finishing my task in the after finishing my task at my place, I feel like dressing up. I get dressed up for my office while using some makeups, while using some new uh, activities, or sometimes new clothes as well. And then I move to my office in a bus or in a car, whatever you want to say. And then in office, I start working. I greet everybody and happily start working there. And after finishing my task, I move to take my lunch at 1 o'clock, and which is usually, or which is often very tasty. And moving ahead, I finish my lunch with a happy note, or sometimes I take follow ups. I take, एक तो मेरे को दोनों साइड से मैसेजेस दिख रहे हैं ना आपके. Huh. So after taking lunch, I go back to my seat and try to complete my work. And around 5 o'clock, I come back home. I sometimes feel, restless. So I usually prefer to watch something. And then in the evening, I sometimes do walk, or sometimes I just lie down and take some rest. And after finishing all those tasks, I go to the kitchen and make dinner for myself and eat it while watching something. And around 10 o'clock, after using my mobile phones or Instagram, I sleep. Hopefully, nobody sleeps here in the morning, right? So, now this is the difference that we include. One thing, हमने इसमें क्या चीज यूज किया है? हमने इसमें कनेक्टर्स यूज किए हैं जो एक सेंटेंस को दूसरे सेंटेंस से कनेक्ट करता है. समटाइम हम पहले सेंटेंस को फिनिश करते हैं, फिर हम एक एडिशनल वर्ड यूज करते हैं जो कि उस सेंटेंस को बेटर बनाता है. सो that's why we have to do this. Now, let's move on to the next thing, or the last thing for today's class, and then we can, talk about the problems that you're facing. How to say I have completed the work in different ways, because these are the phrases. Phrases आपको समझ में आता है जो कि दो या तीन वर्ड से बनी होती हैं, जिसका दो और तीन वर्ड्स को मिलाकर एक मीनिंग बनता है, राइट? इसमें हमारा कॉम्बिनेशन क्या होता है? वर्ब प्लस, यस, वर्ब के साथ क्या यूज करते हैं हम? prepositions, right? वो भी हम पढ़ेंगे, उनको भी हम डील में बताएंगे कि वो क्या है. So आपको अगर बोलना है I have completed the work, because every student has to speak this in a day once. So why to use this different ways, so that you can also enhance yourself, not only talking about it on a daily basis, right? So what are the ways to explain it? I have completed the assignment. The project has been completed successfully. The job is now completed. I have wrapped up the work. I have finished my work. The work is done. Now, this also follows up with so many sentences. For example, my mother would ask, "Are you finished with are you done with your task?" So I would say, "Mama, my task is still pending. However, I'll let you know." And then after some time, I would say, "My Mama, I have completed my task." Or you would say, "Mama, my project is done," or my project is or has been completed successfully. You can also watch. Or you could simply not only project, I have learned, और कोई भी आप बोल दो कि आपने चैप्टर रिवाइज कर दिया है, रीड कर लिया है, कुछ भी ऐसा है, आप उसको ऐसे करके बोल सकते हो. ठीक है. So these are the ways to talk about these things. One. And now what we have learned today from this class, at the end of the day we have to take care of those things as well, that what we have learned from it. First, we have got to know about the syllabus, that what we are going to study in this whole semester. Second, we got to know how to introduce yourself professionally in professional places, be it interview or be it anywhere where somebody asks you formally or officially this question. And third, sorry, we have learned 4 to 5 words today. I have hopefully, want you to remember it. I hope you to use it here in the chat box whenever I raise any questions, whenever I raise any queries also. So that's that. Now, third, what we have learned is how to talk about your daily routine effectively. What are those things that should be part of your communication, not only daily routine? If you have to narrate a scene or an event, an incident to your friends, these are the things that should be very much part of your स्पीकिंग. राइट, अगर आप कोई नरेशन भी कर रहे हो किसी भी स्टोरी का, उसमें भी हमारे पास कनेक्टर होने बहुत जरूरी है, अदरवाइज इट इज गोइंग टू मेक योर स्पीच वेरी बोर्ड. Next, we have learned about how to say I have completed my task in different ways, right? And then we finished our class. I have accomplished the objective. Very good, Ajit. You have successfully used it in a right way. Okay, so that's that. Please elaborate more in Hindi. हमने ये सारी चीजें कंप्लीट करी हैं. इसमें कुछ भी आज के लेक्चर में कुछ भी ऐसा डिफिकल्ट नहीं था जो आपको नहीं समझ में आएगा, है ना? आपको ये बहुत मीनिंग्स है, वर्ड मीनिंग्स है जो मैंने आपको कराए हैं, जो कि आपको सुनने भी आने चाहिए और आपको बोलने भी आने चाहिए. इसीलिए इट वाज वेरी नेसेसरी फॉर यू टू टॉक अबाउट इट, एंड उनके मीनिंग भी मैंने हिंदी में आपको बता दिया है. गेस दैट इज नॉट समथिंग problematic. And second thing जो मैं आपसे एक चीज एक्सपेक्ट कर रही हूँ from all of you, because you are coming from different background, what I'm expecting from you is to show some civics. क्योंकि आप जिस हिसाब से messages कर रहे हो, why I keep chat box open, because sometimes क्या होता है, नेटवर्क चला जाता है, आपको पता नहीं होता है, तो स्टूडेंट्स माइट इन्फॉर्म यू कि मैम आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है, तो एटलीस्ट आई बी अवेयर. अगर मैं चैट बॉक्स बंद कर दूंगी, आई नॉट बी एबल टू गेस इफ माई वॉइस इज गोइंग और नॉट, राइट? सो और मैं पूरे 1 घंटे तक बोल रही हूँ एंड नोबडी इज informing me that, so that's why I keep it open. But जिस हिसाब से आप लोग मैसेज कर रहे हो, please try to understand this is the platform where you're supposed to answer the questions, not talking to each other, not putting everybody down. किसी को हिंदी आती है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि दे डोंट होल्ड अ गुड नॉलेज. उनका मजाक मत उड़ाइए, मजाक बनाने का कोई पॉइंट ही नहीं है. और सेम गोज विद द इंग्लिश पीपल एज वेल. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, ट्राई टू कॉपरेट विद ईच अदर. एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू मी टीचिंग हिंदी और इंग्लिश, मैं आपको जानबूझ के नहीं पढ़ाऊंगी. पता क्यों? क्योंकि अगर अभी आप इसको सुनने की आदत नहीं डालोगे, आप इसको कभी भी नहीं लर्न कर पाओगे. आपको ना लिखना आएगा, आपको ना बोलना आएगा. सो दैट इज द हार्ड वे टू लर्न इट. I have to put it here, but this is a hard truth. If you don't want to listen to me, I'm really sorry. I have only this option. Try to practice it. और जिसको इरिटेट हो रहा है इस चैट बॉक्स से, प्लीज switch off the chat box, and whenever I ask question, then only open it and answer it there. It's not humanly possible for me to read everyone's words, so it's better that we understand it there.